Good evening, everyone. Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another important live video update tonight. So we keep getting emails from people week in and week out about this director ID. Now, I just wanted to let everybody know that we did cover that topic in detail on Tuesday night's radio show. If you missed that for any reason, please do make sure you listen to the podcast, which has now been uploaded to the podcast membership area. Now, as a little bit of an update for those that might have missed the live show, Darren went through the concept of servitude and where to find that specific definition in the Competition and Consumer Act, and of course why that does apply to the ABRS as they continually try to force people to apply for a director ID. Now, we also went through some very powerful FOI responses that we've received. And again, I'm just going to whip through them because I know not everybody does listen to the Tuesday night radio show. Now, this is the first one. And it says, specifically you sought access to request the instrument that created the Australian Business Registry Service. I request the instrument that the Commonwealth looks to for the head of power to create the Australian Business Registry Service. I request the Gazette publishing the creation of the Australian Business Registry Service. And I request a document or instrument vesting power upon the Australian Business Registry Service that may impose an obligation on the Australian people. Now, of course, here you can see the decision, which not unexpectedly says, I've determined that I must refuse you access to the requested documents on the basis that they do not exist. Okay, so they're telling you very clearly that those documents simply do not exist. Now, what's interesting is that FOI response, as you can see, not on that page, on that page, is from the Australian Taxation Office. Now, importantly, of course, it is the Commissioner of Taxation that is the head of this supposed ABRS. So again, we're trying to still drill down and find out what is this ABRS. Well, we also send an FOI to the Treasury. Now, this is what the Treasury responded with. Again, we're seeking exactly the same documentation. And it says, decision, no documents were located within the scope of your request. This was expected as the Australian Business Registry Services is a brand name. It is not the name of the empowered body. Okay, so there you have it, literally in black and white. They are telling you that the ABRS is merely a brand name. Okay, it is not an empowered body in any way, shape or form. So for those of you who may have been receiving some of these letters on the letterhead of the ABRS saying that your director ID application is overdue, or other similarly worded letters telling you all about your director ID obligations. They're all written on the heading of a brand name. It may as well be Coca-Cola or Kellogg's or Kmart writing to you. That's how much legal power, legal force and effect those letters have. Okay? Absolutely none. So please, if you or anyone that you know is still standing your ground or their ground against that director ID and might be receiving those sort of letters, please make sure you pass this video, or at the very least, some of this information, direct them to the podcast page and let them know where they can find out more, and of course reassure them that they are indeed doing the right thing. Now, the director ID, of course, is merely just a stepping stone or really a test to see how many people are likely to sign up for the digital ID. And I've obviously spoken on a recent video about the Digital ID Act that was rushed through Parliament recently. Now, please, if you missed that video, do make sure that you go back and watch it. And again, this is a very timely reminder to please make sure that you do add your signature to the One Nation petition to have that act repealed. So that is the petition. For anyone who wants to look it up, there should hopefully be a link going up in the comment section for those of you who are watching this on Facebook. If you're watching this on BitChute or on YouTube, that's what you need to do a search for. And again, we would urge you to add your signature. I think there was 60 or 70,000 odd signatures there, which is a good start. But we do, of course, need to get those numbers higher. Now, as I've also explained before on these videos, that the digital ID itself is again just another stepping stone or another test to see how many people are likely, to take up this cashless society that they keep pushing us towards, with increasing speed. And I have yet another example of how they're forging forwards with that. So this is another article that was doing the rounds last week. And if you haven't yet seen this, of course, there's the title there if you want to look it up. This Australian tourist destination is banning cash and travellers aren't happy. Holidays at one of Australia's most popular tourism destinations have changed in recent years and not everyone is happy about it. The privately owned North Queensland Island no longer accepts cash payments at any of its outlets. Hamilton Island officially became a cashless environment during the COVID-19 pandemic, and its operators decided to continue the policy on an ongoing basis despite the relaxation of pandemic restrictions. The choice to become cashless was driven by the imperative to ensure the safety of our guests and staff during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Hamilton Island website reads. I don't recall any stories of cash jumping out and attacking any tourists or any staff members. I'm not sure really how it's a safety issue, but maybe it's just me. Following the relaxation of pandemic restrictions, we have opted to continue this approach. The website claims cashless transactions facilitate a more hygienic environment for guests and staff and a hassle-free and efficient way to make payments. Because, all those people handling their tap-and-go cards, that's not unhygienic at all. Again, remember, let's go back to, the COVID era where the Perth Mint, I believe it was, actually came out and said there is no issue with anything being transmitted on cash. We've been using cash for hundreds of years. No one's had an issue with it until now, when the cashless agenda has, of course, been ramping up. What did everyone do? How is everyone still alive and safe and healthy, pre-COVID when they were all using cash? If it's such a danger all of a sudden magically now, I don't know. The management team also cited security and a reduced risk of loss or theft as contributing factors behind the decision to remain cashless. Again, why is it an issue now when it wasn't 5 years prior for the other 100 years previous to that? It makes no sense. Some members of the Facebook group Cash is King criticised the policy and suggested boycotting the island. There's a good idea. Everybody should boycott it then. Nobody should go there and see how long it lasts, Jodie Baker wrote. Too expensive anyway. They can keep their cashless society and stay there, Frank Torcaso wrote. And I think these are great sentiments that I hope others get behind. The more people that say, hey, if you're going cashless, I'm not going to support you in any way, then they'll get the message. Remember, they survived for decades using cash before all this COVID nonsense. So why all of a sudden this panic and these safety issues and these health concerns and all the rest of it now? Okay, once again, like all the rest of it, it just simply doesn't add up. Now, once again, this is, of course, a timely reminder that if you haven't already done so, to please make sure that you add your petition to Jason's signature, to Jason's petition, and that, of course, is the petition to legislate a formal cash and banking guarantee in this country. Once again, there should be a link going up in the comment section, or you can just do a search for that petition online. I would also, again, urge everyone to check out Jason's website, cashwelcome.org. So cashwelcome.org. Again, there should be a link going up in the comments, but otherwise just type it into your browser. You'll find it very easily. Now, of course, on a similar note, again, we recommend people do join the Call Out Cashless Businesses Facebook group, which is a great place to name and shame those businesses that refuse to accept cash, and of course promote those businesses that do accept it. And of course the sister group, the Cash is King discussion group. And again, let's share these ideas, let's share these concepts around so people understand what the true issues with all of this are. Now, should you need any more reasons why it is so important to reject the director ID, reject the digital ID, reject CBDCs in a cashless society, just have a listen for one moment about how many significant data breaches there have been in just the past 12 months or so. Okay, the powers that be want everything to go online, and they claim that it's safe and it's private and all the rest of it. But have a look at this. So this was an email that was sent to us by one of our members, Jim. It says, "Hi guys, love your work. You may like to see this comprehensive list of online data breaches for the last 6 years." Okay, so that's the website that you can see there. Again, there should be a link going up in the comments. But in case you can't see that, that's the actual link to this website that he's referring to. If you think going digital is safe, think again. Here is a comprehensive list of online data breaches, hacks and cyber attacks that happen in Australia alone. That's just Australia, not including other countries, just in the last 6 years or so. It's insane. And yes, the government is included too. Here are just a handful of titles. The full list is shown in the link at the end. Now, there's pages and pages of this just from the last year. Now, I'm just going to read out some of them. I'm not going to read out the full list, but just listen to some of the significant data breaches that have occurred. The IMF in March 2024. McDonald's, March 2024. American Express, March 2024. Nissan, March 2024. Microsoft, February 2024. Europcar, February 2024. LinkedIn, Adobe, Twitter and others, January 2024. Nissan Australia, January 2024. Binge, Dan Murphy's and Guzman y Gomez, January 2024. Court Services Australia, January 2024. Do you want all of your court data to be able to be accessed and hacked? TikTok. I mean, so many of our, kids, our own children use that service. That was hacked or attacked in December 2023. ASIC, anyone who has a company, okay, all your private details were subject to a hack in December 2023. Samsung, November 2023. Alfred Health, November 2023. Anyone who's part of the Alfred Hospital, ever been treated there, all your medical records, all at risk. Royal Women's Hospital Parkville, October 2023. Sony, October 2023. Australian Federal Police, September 2023. University of Sydney, August 2023. American Express, August 23. Alda, anyone who has a .com.au domain name for their business, Alda, which is the governing body that runs that .com.au system, they were hacked in August 2023. I mean, think of it. The company that runs .com.au domain names was hacked. I mean, it goes on. Victorian State Government, July 2023. MyGov, July 2023. Oh, but you set up a MyGov account so you can access your Centrelink benefits and your license. It's all completely safe. Yeah, right. PayPal, July 2023. The Australian Defence Force, June 2023. PricewaterhouseCoopers, June 2023. I mean, if these guys can't keep their data safe, how is anybody else expected to? The ACT government, June 2023. Northern Territory government, May 23. Toyota, May 23. Ambulance Victoria, May 23. Medibank, May 23. Optus, April 23. Afterpay, April 23. Coles, April 23. Services New South Wales, April 23. I mean, that's a list of just the last year. Go and look at that website and see how many other huge, massive companies have been hacked or attacked in the last 6 years. But oh no, it's completely safe to go to a cashless society and digital ID and CBDCs and director ID. I mean, if you believe that after all that, words fail me. I just don't know what else to say. So please go to that page, go to that website, have a look at the huge number of significant breaches that are occurring and just how often they're occurring, month after month after month after month. Okay, and please keep that in mind when you hear about the next thing going digital. That should raise alarm bells straight away. Okay, now as always, again, I urge you, please share these videos, okay, or at the very least share these articles and these websites around as far and as wide as you possibly can so people do understand what the issues are with what the government is pushing for at the moment. Okay, we the people don't want these initiatives brought in. This is all simply part of the government and the ultimate powers that be agenda. Now, here's the thing though, okay? The digital ID and the cashless society, they are only some. They're only a very small portion of some of the agendas that they're pushing. Okay, there's also the climate change agenda, the green agenda, okay? And now they're actually even combining the agendas and, okay, you can't make this stuff up, I promise, they're now pushing a green digital transition agenda. Okay, I promise you, here it is in black and white. Okay, this is the reference material and this is the article. Okay, so here's what it says. Publication, Greening Public Administration with GovTech, Embracing a Green Digital Transition, Guidance Note, Volume 1. Now, who's the author of this? The World Bank. Okay, that should set off some alarm bells as well. And here's what it says. Governments are increasingly seeking opportunities to leverage digital technologies to build a greener future. All sounds lovely, doesn't it? This guidance note provides useful advice to policymakers. Who are they? They are governments. This is a document for governments. Okay? For policymakers, underlining adequate leadership and commitment are crucial to implement coordinated GovTech and green policies. The climate change impacts or digitalisation can provide the benefits of green digital service delivery, paperless administration, and the efficiency of integrated services for a reduction of the carbon footprint. Forget about all those factories in China, spewing out tons of carbon. Forget about the volcanoes, that are spewing out tons of carbon. No. We want to go to digital currencies, okay, and paperless government to somehow help the carbon footprint. Really? Honestly? Come on. This guidance note is centred around three main topics. 1, the green government process through digital solutions. 2, greening digital service delivery. And 3, identifying policy mechanisms to mainstream green digital approaches throughout government systems. So who's the publisher? Again, the World Bank in Washington, D.C. Okay? This should again be setting off alarm bells. What are the subjects? Governance and GovTech. This is who this is directed towards. Okay? So, here's the actual publication itself. So if you go onto that page or you just do a search for this publication, you can find it, you can download it, you can read it. But I'm just going to go through a couple of points in the... my pages are stuck together. If I can get them unstuck. Just some of the table of contents. It's all stuck. Doesn't want to come undone. Yeah, I'll lick the finger trick. There we go. Always works. So this is the table of contents, and just listen to some of the topics that are covered in this document. The role of the World Bank. That should be scary straight away. A framework of analysis for greening GovTech. Paperless public administration. Green digital service delivery. Towards a green digital service delivery. Resilience to weather transformation and emergencies. What the? Weather transformation. Maybe it's just me, but I thought weather had been around for, thousands, millions of years. Who's transforming the weather exactly? Green digital competencies, maintaining green digital culture across the public sector. Green digital leadership, the public sector and the role of stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders in the green agenda? They are the governments. The governments of countries are referred to as the stakeholders. Okay? So, people need to really, really understand, okay, that they are not even trying to hide the fact that they are trying to influence governments anymore. Okay, and these are the exact types of points that we've been explaining to people for almost 10 years now through our weekly radio shows, more recently through these, regular video updates. Okay, but we've also been going into a lot of detail about these various agendas, about the history of these different agendas, and most importantly, how they've been slowly but surely implemented throughout the world, but in particular, right here in Australia through things like the UNIDROIT Treaty and stuff like that. All of these, along with explaining the exact steps that people need to take to stop them, have all been covered in our live events around the country. Now, unfortunately, as I did explain on this week's radio show, due to the ever-increasing cost of running these events, and of course due to everybody's busy schedules, us as presenters at these events, and of course you as attendees, I can now unfortunately confirm that this year's events will be the last events that we will be able to run around the country moving forward. So please, if you do want to secure your last chance to not only see us live, okay, but also get direct access to all of the latest updated information and strategies for 2024, and most importantly to ask any personal questions that you might have on any of these topics, then please do be sure to secure your seats via the links on our seminar page. Again, you'll find a link in the comment section, but you'll also find a link in the description of this video as well. Now finally, as I always do at the end of these videos, I do want to go through the latest testimonial that we've received from one of our members, as well as some really great memes to get people thinking as well. So this is an email that we've received from Michael John, as you can see here. Hey blokes, please see the attached letter. This is my second fine dropped, 2 out of 2. Though I admit it is hard work and a little stressful when they start making threats, I think I'll try and stick to the limit from now on. The argument I made here relied on the straw man concept. It was my company vehicle. I used the paper form to nominate myself, the man with my given name and executor of the estate. As they accepted the nomination of the Commonwealth National and not the citizen as driver, I eventually got them to paint themselves into a corner. I wanted to get this argument into court, but long story short, they tucked tail and ran. Thanks guys, your stuff works and can be applied across many matters, not just speed fines. And there's the actual letter, because again people go, oh, where's your proof, where's your evidence that this works? Well, here it is right here in black and white, literally. This is a letter from the Queensland Police Service. Dear Michael John, I refer to infringement notice blah 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 issued on such and such date for exceed speed limit of speed zone by at least 11 kilometres an hour but not more than 20 kilometres an hour at Moreton Bay Road, Kapalaba. The infringement notice has been withdrawn. Any enforcement action taken against you by the State Penalties Enforcement Registry, SPUR, will cease and any payments by you will be refunded. So that's, again, further evidence, okay, that if you follow, okay, all of the information, all of the strategies in that Aussie Speeding Fines book, and in particular, that 3-step process in Chapter 3, okay, those are the results you can achieve, okay? Now, still, we inevitably get people posting, oh, your stuff doesn't work, I tried it, but did you try all the steps? Did you follow it all the way through? Because, this really rings true to me, okay? Week in and week out, we read these testimonials, we provide absolute proof that these fines are dropped, they're witdrawn in court, they're withdrawal notices from the police, and as it says, Them, show me the proof. So we show the proof, and them, oh, no, we don't want to see it. No, we can't handle it. We can't handle the truth. It's like that good old line, okay? The truth is there. Yes, it can be challenging. Yes, it can be difficult. Yes, it can be frustrating, but you've got to keep standing your ground. You have to keep pushing it. If you do that, you can and will be successful. All right, this is a great one that I think probably a lot of you can relate to. Not that there's a lot of physical newspapers out there anymore, but as it says there, oh, this bloody paper's half the size it used to be. And the response from the partner, well, of course, dear, they used to publish both sides of a story. Yeah, well, that hasn't happened for quite some time, as many of us know. Yes, another one, very simple, very straightforward and to the point. Okay, we always say, oh, you can, lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, or you can lead a person to the truth, but you can't make them think. Well, you can lead a human to knowledge, but you can't make them think, says a horse. And again, it's very true, and it happens all the time. Yes, this one I like because we're talking so much about director ID, digital ID, CBDCs. This social credit score is just around the corner. Of course, it already exists in China. And as we all know, Victoria is just another state of China, and the other states of Australia aren't far behind. So as it says, a shout out to all my people who already have a negative social credit score in a system that hasn't even been implemented yet. I'm pretty sure I'm high up there on the scale. Now, word of warning, if anyone's got any little young children watching, please get them to avert their eyes for just a moment. You'll see why in a minute. We don't want to upset any young kids. But this is a very clear picture of things that adults shouldn't believe in anymore. And we can clearly see the Easter Bunny and Father Christmas, fairies, and of course, the Liberals, Labor, and the Greens. And yes, I'll let you draw your own conclusions on that. Now, this one is the one I'm going to leave you with because it just makes so much sense to me. Okay, anyone who's seen the Back to the Future movies or anything like that will understand the point of this meme. And if you stop and think about it for a moment, it is really powerful. And it says, when people travel to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by just doing something small. They just change one little thing in the past and how that could significantly change or alter the future. But few people think that they can radically change the future by doing something small in the present. And it's exactly the same concept. Fight that fine, challenge the ATO, question the banks on your loans, all of these things. Write letters to your members of parliament, send off the local government fact sheet that we have on our website. Just any of these small things, if everybody started to do them on a regular basis, would make such a huge impact in a very short period for the future. Okay, so don't worry about going back in the past in some magical, mystical time machine and changing something then. Make the change now and you'll find that it changes your future and most importantly, the future for your children very, very quickly. So, I'm going to leave things there for tonight. As always, I do urge you to please make use of all of the various resources that are available to you to please get informed, get fired up and get proactive. We really need people taking action this year more than ever before. These videos, of course, are completely free to watch. Okay, on our YouTube channel, on our BitChute channel. You'll also find them on the videos tab on our Facebook page. All of those websites that we mentioned have tons and tons of completely free information. Our radio shows, again, completely free to listen to every Tuesday night between 8 and 10 p.m. If you have missed any of those shows, especially if you missed this week's show, please do be sure to join up as a podcast member. It's less than $5 a week to join up as a podcast member. Now, if you want to go above and beyond that, we do, of course, recommend our ebook, The Essential Step-by-Step Manual for Understanding and Exercising Your Rights. That Aussie Speeding Fines book, as I said before, these guys have been around for 17 years. Their process works. You can successfully challenge all manner of unjust and unlawful fines, but you have to follow the process all the way through. Okay, a lot of people we know are doing it tough, so please make sure you grab that Bank Secrets Revealed book. Stop throwing good money after bad at these unsecured loans, your personal loans, your credit cards. They can all be very simply discharged. So grab those books. You can get them individually. You can get them as part of the combo pack. There's links in the description. There's links in the comments. The combo pack does offer you a bit of a discount, saves you on some postage and stuff. And you do also get our Know Your Rights tote bag included as a little bonus at no extra charge. Don't forget, we do have our caps and beanies. Some of the states are starting to feel the cooler weather now, so grab your beanies if you don't have them already. People see the logo, they come up, they have a chat. It's a great way to meet like-minded people, so grab those. Don't forget that land titles disc that has still been very, very popular. We've just had another batch of those made up, so if you want to learn everything about the Torrens title system, land titles, fee simple, grab that disc. And of course, if you don't have a CD or DVD drive in your computer, grab one of our USB CD DVD drives, so you can just plug that into a Mac, PC, laptop, desktop, anything, and you can access all the data on all our CDs, all our DVDs. And of course, speaking of those DVDs, we do have our home study course, which is a complete recording of one of our 2.5-day live events. It's 17 DVDs and a CD with all the documents we use, 3 custom-made workbooks with spaces there next to every single slide from every single presentation to write your notes. You can pause, rewind, fast forward in the comfort of your own home and, of course, at your own time. Now, again, I do remind you, please, if you possibly can, get along to our live events this year. This will be the last year for the foreseeable future that we will be doing them. If you still can't for whatever reason, then do make sure you grab that home study course instead. Other than that, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I'll be back live next Thursday night. Otherwise, of course, on Tuesday night for our radio show. Until then, take care.